How you doing? My question goes like this. If you've been taken prisoner, don't you want to get as far away from the prison as possible when you're out? Don't you want to leave the land of Pharaoh and the Romans and get away? Didn't you see enough that we went into Israel? For what reason? Oh, there's more than one reason. One of the biggest reasons is to protect the Suez Canal without even knowing it. Keeping it business-like, because the matrix is both personal and business. Gets into you personally and you fuck up in the business. So it's okay. But they're fighting. And they've been fighting forever. Now in Quebec in 1976, when René Lévesque made it in, the English left. Now the question was, are we going to stand for our rights or not? Well, it's just too bad because our hearts may be strong, but the minute you want to stand up for the liberty of two, they knock you down and keep it up for one. The people in Auschwitz, do you think you really saw the truth? You didn't see the truth. You didn't see the truth, what was happening. Follow the trains in Germany, my friends. Follow the trains and follow the mountains. Take out your detectors for sounds. Check out the sky that's above the energy cell and what angle that is on to the northern degree of the North Star, which is the most important. It's all about the North Star, the angle of what the energy comes in. When it comes to the night, when you know we're in the angle of the North Star, look now, because that's what it's all about. That little bit of time is what the light is used in her system. You can escape her system within the light, because it's a you. But you can't escape it from the earth. And it's a vibration. Why are the Jews still there? Auschwitz, they trained them in, they brought in people, they shot a few of them to make like they're shooting them all, but they weren't shooting them all. They were putting them into these bathing rooms and sending them downstairs. Then they'd retake the next ones and they'd put acid on them and throw them in the pit. These people were being slaves downstairs, underneath the ground. Or is it upstairs, over where the clouds are, over the clouds that you see? Because we don't go any higher than that. So either they're in us or above us. And they always see the outside light, but the magnetism changes. 45-degree angle, my friends. Where the hell do I get these numbers? All numerology. None of my numbers. Roulette, blackjack, pool, a little bit of movies, a little bit of the kind of sneakers I have, how fast my car drives, the names of cars and businesses, the new designs that they just put on McDonald's. Tells me something new just came up. The weather that's in 14 days tells me what they're thinking about the weather. The magazines that have come out from last month to next month and the one after tell me how the magazines are changing their ideas and thinking and how they're coming around to catch us from the outside of the thought. The baseball teams that win, the scores, in general, it's a total of scores. They must be between 50 and 55, 55 and 60, because when people go to bet on it, they know the percentage. They know where their thoughts are. So that's what they're going to catch them with. We can't see this. What is the real Israel? I think if we were God's chosen people, He would have given us the land of liberty. What do you think? The real Israel, the real Magen David, is the fleur, is the flower on the Canadian flag. Red inside white. The pure red. And the way the flag is designed and the way the detailing is on the outside and the stitching of the flag. The real reward is Canada. The arms of the Hubble spacecraft are just a redesign of the arms of this world that pull apart the islands and separate you, and then condone us to certain islands. We don't even have to leave home. They don't have to do anything because they know in time you're going to buy their food, and then you're going to choke. They're going to get rid of you. Or you won't choke, and they'll bring you downstairs to run the fiery pits of hell. Which is not a hell, it's just that you have to stay there till you die. That's the problem. So they brought these trains into Auschwitz, and they exchanged the people from one train to the next. And everybody was speaking a little bit different, and they were adding in people, and they were going down and down. You never saw anybody get killed. You only saw them thrown into the pit and what they came out looking like, because they came from down under. where the food is horrible. And the women, all they make the women do is have babies and babies and babies and babies, because down there, it's the inside of the pit. The light is not in there. You don't lose the light. You just lose the day of the light, which means you are reduced in speed and thought. But once your body goes, the balance just must leave the system, because it's an element of a reflect and the mirror image of magnets and reflections. We live in the world of make-believe, Shrek, Avatar, the Matrix. But we're still here, we're still beautiful looking people the way we see it. And it's fun. But we all know, at the end of every fairy tale, there's always a happy ending. Is this one supposed to be any different? The light is being shared by two, but the last laugh is upon he who is above. He is the narrator, the author, the publisher, and we just filled in the prints along the line. Raphael, 7286, Auschwitz. The sky and Neptune, because our electricity is in the sky. And the water keeps going up when it's light. Isn't that funny? The water goes up when it's light, but heavy it comes down, because it can't be pulled anymore. It's being pulled down because it's big enough to hold the cell. One little raindrop, one little, two little, three little Indians, but little raindrops, pit-pat, 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 tip-tap, 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 get you moving, they get you grooving, get you in the groove, you know what I'm saying? And it's also mentally disturbing your mind at the same time. The sky is going to fire against us. It will become dark, like they said in the Bible, for 3 days. And then it must be light again, because the energy system of the magnetic pole cannot withstand passing more than 3 days without seeing the light on the day side, the opposite side of the magnet, the charger. 3 days, 1 day, 3 days, totaling 7 days, or 3 days, 1 day, 6 days, 1 day, 3 days. But that's the lunar electrical movement based on this cube. Raphael, 7286. Under the constellation of Pegasus, Pegasus. Thank you.